Hello everyone, welcome back again with me, Nadila Ulyashurin. I'm a student of English language education. Today, I will talk about fun and engaging way to teach EFL to young learners. In this video, I'll explain practical methods you can use immediately, why they work, and how to organize a short and effective lessons. First, we have to know who we are going to teach. Young learners are not small adults. They have short attention spans and learn best when they are active, curious, and emotionally involved. The purpose of this presentation is twofold. The first is to inform you about evidence-based techniques that increase engagement and retention. And then the second is to pursue you to replace long teacher talk with short, interactive cycles that actually produce language gains. If you keep going long explanation and worksheet, you risk losing the class, and with it, learning opportunities. I will show alternatives that are more efficient and scalable. Okay. So, before picking activities, understand the learner. Young children are energetic, sensory oriented, and respond to routine. They need repetition delivered in different formats. Otherwise, repetition becomes boredom. They also prefer meaningful context like stories, characters, and play over abstract lists of words. If your lesson ignores this trait, you'll see attention drop and complain, not genuine learning. So, next I will explain about principles that must be considered in preparing a lesson plan. The first principle is keep it active. Use totally physical response or TPR. So vocabulary links to movement. For example, teach verb by doing them, like clap, clap, spin, spin, like that. Short movement games like Simon Says or running dictation create memory hooks. Role play with simple command also works. The risk teacher often take it over controlling the movement. Set clear boundaries so the energy is channeled into the language practice, not chaos. Action plus language equals stronger recall. The second principle is use stories and visual. A picture book, puppet, or a short animated clip give vocabulary a narrative context. Instead of drilling 10 isolated words, emblem them in a 3-minute story where characters use those words. That builds comprehension and create emotional hooks. Visual reduce or cognitive load. Students need fairer translation because they can see meaning. Don't just show a picture. Ask predictive questions like, what do you think will happen next? That prompts language production. The third principle is turn vocabulary into games. Game provide repetition with novelty. Try a flashcard race, bingo, or vocabulary hunt in around the class. Design every game with a clear language objective. What target from or vocabulary you want student to use. And keep rounds short. The common mistake is letting a game run so long that it becomes play alone. Stop the game while it's still fun and before practice fatigue set in. Rewards correction language use, not only wins. The fourth principle is incorporate song and chant. Song improve pronunciation, rhythm, and memory. Use action songs for younger children. Song they can move. And short chants for repetition practice. For slightly older kids, do a gap fill in the chorus to focus attention on specific words or structure. Be deliberate, pick songs that match your learning objective. If you use songs as entertainment without following up activities, you waste the learning opportunity. So, the last principle is use simple projects to extend language production. Project like My Dream Animal poster or short comic strip about daily routines let students recycle vocabulary in a creative product. Projects make language purposefully and visibly. But keep projects short and scaffolded. Give temples or model an example and set clear success criteria. If you leave students unguided, the project will consume time without producing target language gain. So, effective classroom management is the backbone. Establish routines, warm up, presentation, practice, production, cool down. So, positive reinforcement, praise, sticker, or point system for language attempt and effort. Keep activity brief 5 to 7 minutes each to match attention span. Use grouping deliberately, pair work for speaking, small group for projects. The biggest mistake I see is lesson with one long activity. Variety and pacing are what keep learning on task. So, technology can boost motivation when used purposefully. Tools like Kahoot, Quizzes make quick informative check fun. Short videos and interactive flashcards provide visual and auditory support. However, technology should not replace teacher interaction. Use digital tools for variety and review, not as a passive filler. Also, prepare a non-digital backup in case the teach fails. That's lesson planning 101. Here's a compact 20 minutes lesson plan you can use tomorrow. The first is warm up. It's about 2 minutes. A greeting chant and a quick TPR routines to wake up language. Number 2 is presentation. It's about 4 minutes. Introduce 5 target words with picture and a 2-line puppet dialogue. Number 3 is practice. It's about 6 minutes. A flashcard race plus a short bingo round to recycle the words. Number 4 is production. It's about 6 minutes. Per task, students make a 1-sentence report about the puppet's day using at least 2 target words. The last is cool down. It's about 2 minutes. Exit ticket. Its students say one word they remember. So, this sequence keep momentum and ensure that practice is meaningful and measurable. So, the conclusion is engagement is essential. Use movement, stories, games, songs, and short projects to make language memorable. Keep activity short and purposeful. Scaffold production and manage the class with clear routines. The risk of not changing your approach is clear. Bored students waste class time and slow progress. The payoff of adopting this method is immediately more speaking attempts, higher motivation, and better retention. So, thank you for listening me. If you try one change next week, make it this. Replace one 5 minutes worksheet with 2 minutes song plus a 3 minutes interactive game. Measure the response or notice who speak more. Okay, thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.